Happy Friday. I'm Gerry Johnson, Associate Council President for GCNKAA, and I'm joined today by Megan Lawhon, our current board member and Chief Operating Officer of PLK Communities. And we're here to talk about our business exchange event that's coming up on May 24th. The event is going to be at Oasis Conference Center. And the first part of the event from 8:30 to 9 is going to be networking. And then from 9 to 11:30 will be the event. So today, what we're excited about is we're going to share some great tips and education that hopefully help you maximize your investment as you're at the event. So the first thing is to share some changes to the event. So the first part of the event is going to be the first 15 cycles that you'll go to. That's going to be planned in advance. So you're going to know exactly who you're meeting with. You're going to be able to prepare for that. And we hope that really helps you control and maximize, like I said, your investment. So we're going to jump right into our tips and tricks, and Megan's going to kind of start us off.
Yes, thank you so much. We're so excited. We've been doing this event for a few years, and, unfortunately, the past couple, we've had to do it on Zoom, and we made the most of it. And there was a lot of people who put in a lot of hard work and everything to try to make that event work as best as possible given our circumstance. But we're so excited that everybody's going to be back in person. And, we've expanded our business exchange committee and trying to really make sure that we are making as many adjustments as possible that we can do based on your feedback to make this a successful event. And I'm excited for it. I think that one of the beautiful things within our industry as a whole and within our association in Cincinnati is that our PMCs are growing. Everybody's really growing. I mean, you guys have seen there's a lot of development going on. There's acquisitions like crazy. And this event is wonderful. And it's supposed to be very valuable on both sides, right? The associate members that Gerry's going to give some perspective from, and the PMCs, which I'm going to try to share some perspective from. I know for us personally, I can speak to at PLK, we are definitely looking to expand our vendor base because we're growing, and we need to make sure that we are continuing to, have enough people to do all of the work that's needed and make sure that we're staying sharp as a property management company. And that's why this event is important. And then from Gerry's perspective and all the associate members, you guys want to create more additional business partnerships. So, that's the goal of this event. And so we're going to get in with our top 5. Gerry and I both have some top 5 tips. My first one is be cognizant of who is attending. So I'm speaking from the PMC side. Some PMC companies, property management companies, might have 1 or 2 representatives. Some might have 3, 4, 5 representatives. So making sure that when you are approaching that table and doing your homework ahead of time is, who are you approaching and which company? And if they do have more than 1 or 2 representatives, who might be the best person to connect with based on the product, experience, service that you are offering. So that's my tip 1. All right, Gerry.
I love it. So going right along those lines, my tip 1, and just so to give you some context, this is stuff, I didn't just make this up. I've talked to a lot of associate members. I know Megan has talked to a lot of, the owner management companies to get this feedback. So this is a compilation of what I heard. But my first one is do your research. So it goes along right with what Megan's saying. You're going to know who you're meeting with. You're going to know what the company's situation is. You should already ahead of time know competition, what you're up against, those types of things. And then also, hopefully know who you're talking with and a little bit more about that person so you can connect and hopefully, take that next step.
That's great. Yes. My number 2 is be open to feedback. Obviously right there in that moment of the event, these are kind of speed dating for lack of a better term, but we do have more time that we are setting aside for each person. There's probably not a lot of feedback that's going to be given right there in that moment, but this is for both sides, for us as property management companies to be committed to giving the feedback, but for the vendors and the associate members to be open to receiving. So, some examples I can give of this is maybe you are somebody who's bid a couple projects for a company and you still haven't been awarded work. make sure that you are seeking that feedback as to why and being open to the feedback. So that's my tip too.
I love it. I love it. Love the feedback. We, as a salesperson, that's the best thing you can get. You got to
Yes.
know where to go next. So my tip two is don't product dump. Look, you've got 5 minutes, right? Don't do a full demo. Don't try to share every single nook and cranny about your service. We all do great things, but in 5 minutes, it's just not going to resonate. Pick one or two of your top aspects that you want to share, and then spend the rest of the time, trying to find out more information about the company. That would be a huge way to move the ball forward.
Love it. Such good advice. All right. Well, my last 3 tips I'm calling my plea to the PMCs. So, Gerry and I both have been doing this for a long time, and we've participated in this event for several years. And but these last 3 are really kind of my plea to the owner managed companies and trying to help. So my 3rd tip is to please do the work on the front end. What does that mean? You guys will see when we are getting a little bit closer to the event. There'll be information that's coming out that really is asking you to identify who are your team members that you're planning on having join at this event. What do their roles represent? Who would be the most ideal person to speak to about different services? And to ask what you are seeking, what you're looking for. Are you looking for a new landscape partnership? Are you entertaining new software in the next 2 years? Please do the work on the front end, because it will help both parties. Some of the things that you are trying to gain out of this event and experience, and the associate members are knowing who to partner with. So that's my 3rd tip for my plea to the PMCs.
That's music to the associates' ears there. So we love that. That's fantastic. So my 3rd tip is, as I mentioned before, you're not product dumping. You only have 5 minutes. But ask questions that are going to get you answers to move your situation forward. So my thing is, figure out what their decision-making process is. You can figure that out in a minute if you ask the right questions. Who's involved? How long do decisions like this take? Do we need to get more people involved other than you? Simple things like that. Those are powerful things to take back to help you connect with not only move the sale forward potentially, but connect with the PMC in a better way.
Yes, that's great advice. My fourth tip for my plea to PMCs is just even right now, please confirm with Michelle at the Apartment Association if your company is just planning on attending. We've still got some time. We don't need to know exactly which team member is going to be on board. We don't need to know, all of the ins and outs, but truthfully, we do need to know if you're just willing to participate in the event. And the reason being is, our associate members, they have to decide where they're spending their dollars, right? And events that they're going to participate in and trade shows and what have you. And so the more information they have right now on there's going to be 15 property management companies or 25 property management companies participating really gives them insight as to whether or not this event is going to be valuable for them. So my plea to you is just to please confirm whether or not you plan on participating, and we can get to all the details later.
Love it. I love it. That's great. And moving to my step 4 is kind of following, maybe piggybacking off of something Megan said earlier, but ask how you should follow up. To me, it's a simple question that doesn't get asked enough. The last thing you want to be is a pest, because you're not going to get a response. So as you're gathering your information, figure that out. Is it text? Is it email? Is it snail mail? I don't know. Whatever it is, they're going to tell you. You're going to be able to connect in a good way, and it's going to make that communication process smooth, which will ultimately help you move the process forward.
Yes. And my 5th plea to the PMCs of these top 5, I mentioned earlier about from the associate side about being open to the feedback. What I'm really going to ask of my colleagues is that you are committed to providing the feedback. I think a lot of times that we participate in this event, it's wonderful. We get to see some great people that we may not get to see all the time. You get to make some new connections. The goal is that you're setting those appointments and meetings moving forward. So like Gerry said, either moving the sales process forward or just seeking information to get more awareness of what the service is or the supply. But, really from our standpoint is, please give the feedback. I mean, the associate members take time out of their day. Like I said, they commit money to participate in this event. And, once you leave the event and, you get busy in your day-to-day life, when those associate members are reaching back out to you, please make sure that you are following up. That is, it's respectful, it's courteous. We don't want to just drop off the face of the earth. Please make sure that you are connecting as to, yes, let's schedule that meeting, or no, but this is why, so that they have the takeaway.
Thank you. That is awesome. That's amazing. So my last tip is not nearly as awesome as that, by the way, but it is a good one. It's play the long game. Look, don't walk in the room expecting to get the sale that day. You're not going to.
No.
I hope you do, but that just is so unlikely. So don't set that expectation. Set expectations that are appropriate. Like, what kind of information do you want to gather in your 5 minutes? Maybe it's basic information, maybe it's more detailed, but have a plan that's in line with what you can do in a 5-minute period to help you move that sales process forward.
That was good. That was a good tip.
It wasn't nearly as good as
Come on, don't sell yourself short. Well, thank you. We really wanted to make this quick and digestible, but really just to make sure that you guys knew the date and to, put it on your calendars. We would love to have just a really high participation on both sides. This event is meant to be beneficial for both property management companies and the associate members. We all do business with one another. So let's try to make the most of it and maximize the opportunity for both sides. So don't forget, May 24th at the Oasis Conference Center, 8:30 to 11:30. And please reach out to Michelle as soon as possible and just confirm that you are going to be participating. All of the details and registrations and all of that is still to come. So thanks for listening with Gerry and I today, and we hope to see you on the 24th.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.